Yo, what's happening, everybody? We are here live for the Wednesday, May 8th, 2024 version of the Midweek Report. Yep, the boxing source Midweek Report. The host here, James Bell. Still, kind of like getting my bearings back from being in Las Vegas last week, or pretty much last weekend. And coming off of what happened there between Canelo Alvarez and Jaime Munguia. Now, we got a number of things that are coming up here in boxing. We're gonna try to get through a few of these major topics here for the sport. I know that we had another fight that took place, early Monday morning or whatever you would call it here over in the States. I'll be talking about that here as well. But we got to get to the main topic at hand. We're still going over the big story that took place, or pretty much was broken last week. Pretty much, what was it? Last Thursday or last Friday, when test results had been released in reference to Ryan Garcia, and he had two positive tests in reference to one particular illegal substance. Now, there was another illegal substance that was brought up in reference to the test, right? And that one was norandrosterone, or the whole thing that Alexander Povetkin got hit up with, or nandrolone, or whatever that thing was, right? That was kind of like leaked out that, there may have been some traces of that particular drug in the system there for Ryan Garcia, right? But it seems like that particular test was inconclusive, or pretty much like not completely accurate. But here's the thing. The tests for ostarine are still there. They were still present. They were still positive as of, like I said, the day before and the day after the fight that took place. So April 19th, April 21st, positive for ostarine. Really doesn't matter if it's like 1 microgram, 1 milligram, 1 nanogram, or whatever it is. Like, any trace of ostarine in anyone's system is still not allowed. So, thing about it is that, now you got Ryan Garcia going all crazy. You got some people out there posting left and right that Ryan Garcia is innocent. Like, slow your roll, hold up, pump your brakes. It ain't quite like that yet. You can't really jump off with that, all right? Because we still have results that are supposed to be coming out here within 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks from now. They say May 22nd, that they say the B samples for Ryan's 2 tests that were positive of ostarine, they will be open on May 22nd and tested, right? And they say that, at least here through Dan Rayfield, that Ryan Garcia is allowed to have a representative attorney or whatever it is observe to make sure the test is 100% legit and everything like that. So a lot of people will pretty much find out on May 22nd, okay, did Ryan Garcia really cheat or not? Now, some people, you got folks saying, hey, we maybe took something by mistake that had ostarine, and that kind of like what it was. Well, the thing about it is, hey, if you got to know what's in your body, what's in your system, what you take while you're preparing for a big fight or any type of a fight of any magnitude. So Ryan Garcia, if they say that, hey, this particular B sample comes out with the same result, then he really got some explaining to do. because that would lead to, suspensions. That pretty much could lead to, hey, the result for that fight against Devin Haney being changed to a no contest. So that win would be taken away from him. The loss would be taken away from Devin Haney. But it still says, like, hey, man, like, why would all of this stuff be, on this system if one way or another you didn't know about it? Okay. Shout out to Modern King Boxing on the live chat here on YouTube. He says, hey, Ryan ain't guilty. Why would Vada smear their name by saying he is? Trusting in Vada means he's guilty as charged. Hey, I mean, it's like, the thing about it with Vada, right? They're pretty much what I would say, I wouldn't necessarily say quote unquote public organization, but every time you have a fight that involves Vada for testing, they have on their website, whoever's involved in major fights or whatnot, that they post those fighters saying that they are openly participating in Vada. And that happens before the fight. And then after the fight, as long as everything is cleared and on the up and up, Vada makes another post that says this particular fighter cleared all tests in regards to the fight that they had, pretty much that took place, right? Let me see if I could see. I'll go through. You can just go to the website, man, and it'll just show it, right? Go to vada-test.org, or what is it, a dash or whatever it is. You go to the fighters, Vada fighters, right? And they say, for example, you got the latest one out here from April 30th. After the fight between Jordan Gill and Zelda Barrett, what does Vada have? It says, congratulations to both of those fighters for successfully completing testing through, their, thing that they had to do for their fight, right? Or in reference to Zelda Barrett, April 13, 2024 bout with Jordan Gill, right? And it would say the same thing there for Jordan Gill in reference to Zelda Barrett. Or let's say Richardson Hitchens, they had, a fight. Had the same thing for him. So if it was for Ryan Garcia, look, you would have that pretty much coming out, let's say, what would have been like May 14th or whatever it is, if he was, all cleared. But as you see, we're going to have to wait till May 22nd for those B samples for Ryan Garcia. He said they tried to clear Oscar Valdez's name, but his test was blatantly guilty. Oh, you must have mean when he fought it was the guy that's getting a whole bunch of chances for a world title there. In Conceição, right? Yeah. So he says Mauricio Suleiman defending folks. And Mauricio. Gotta love the WBC, don't you? WBC, yeah. The same WBC that, just recently stripped Jamal Charlo of the middleweight title, and now you have Carlos Adames as the full WBC middleweight champion, which should have happened last year, actually, but that's a whole nother story. Back to this whole thing here with Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. Now, as I said before, man, Ryan Garcia really got to hope this thing with the B sample comes through and all tests are negative. Now, he was really trying to, I wouldn't necessarily say defend himself, but he was doing some real deflecting, at least when I caught him there on Friday, after the weigh-in where you had Canelo and Munguia. He was out there for that. And look, he was deflecting. Had like a short clip. I didn't really post it on here on YouTube, but he was talking about all the stuff that he was saying during his Twitter spaces, basically. So that's that. You know what I'm saying? Hold up, though. Let's see, man. I'll see if I could jump in if folks wanted to chime in on, but we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Hey, shout out to Mount Gomez there, man. He says Aaron Pryor tested positive against Alexis Arguello and was fined $50,000 and ordered a mandatory rematch. Pryor beat Arguello again in the rematch. Listen, will this be a $50,000 fine in these days? And I don't think so. I really don't think so. But the thing is, Devin Haney, as we saw on Sports Center, and it seems like from this point forward, Devin Haney isn't really interested in a rematch, which is crazy because in a sense, that's the most lucrative fight that Devin Haney could have at this point. Because I really don't see, even though Tank has kind of mentioned it, I really don't see Devin Haney and Tank Davis fighting each other. And yes, I know what happened over at the Fountain Blue in Las Vegas. What was that? Sunday night, late Sunday night. I missed it. I missed that. I was over there by the Cosmopolitan during that time, so I missed all that. But yeah, I'm not sure. I really don't think Haney and Tank are going to be fighting. Plug Happy says, reflecting or telling the truth. Like I said, I wasn't able to get the full explanation of what Ryan Garcia was saying on Friday night because they were constantly moving them, there. So you only could talk for him for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes before he had moved towards the T-Mobile Arena so that, the folks could get him away from the public, basically. You know what I'm saying? He said, Martin King said, oh, man, good money, as we found out. Yeah. That's a good way to say it. That's a good way to say it, But like I said, I mean, we gotta see how this all turns out because this whole thing with the positive result is on top of what Ryan Garcia did, basically coming in overweight. And the thing about it is, it was like he really had no plans of making it to 140 pounds. And this is like from at least a couple weeks or so, or whatever it is. So, there's that. You say allow boxers to not make weight hurt the authenticity. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to fighting for a world title, yeah, you allow them to not make weight, and then you still have the title on the line. I mean, that kind of like nullifies part of why you even fight. You're basically supposed to be fighting for the world title, and if a guy comes in overweight, then it's almost like, what are you fighting for? But in that particular instance, this particular fight just didn't really, quote unquote, need a belt. It was basically those two names that carried the fight itself. So, I mean, for Devin Haney, at least for Devin Haney's sake, props to him for, getting himself down to 140 pounds, because even after what happened there with Regis Prograis, some people felt like, during that fight, they felt like he really couldn't get to 140, but he was able to do that for this fight against Ryan Garcia. And well, you see what happened there, so you had that. But I mean, yeah, we got this whole thing going down, man. And one of the questions that's raised in reference to this, right, was that, given the initial results, and then we'll see what happens with the B sample. If the B sample has the same results for Osirine present in Ryan Garcia's system, what does that mean as far as like the result of the fight? Will it be changed to a no contest? Well, it says like the New York State Athletic Commission will go through a hearing and then decide if it's going to be changed to a no contest. Usually it is, but it just depends on the state athletic commissions. Sometimes you have where it is changed to a no contest. Sometimes it just is overall nullified or whatever it is. But for this particular case, if it is still a positive test, yeah, you're gonna see this be overturned into a no contest, and then Haney will just you'll have it where he doesn't have a loss, but it'll just be a no contest put on his record. So you're not going at it to the point where it's gonna say, hey, he's 31-1, but it'll just say he's 31-0 with one contest, and that's pretty much how that would shape up. So that's kind of like how you would break it down. Hold up though. I was gonna see. Well, I'll probably post a link here in, let me see, about 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out that guy. He says no contest in the 6th month. Man, I'd be surprised if it's longer. Yeah, that's kind of like been the thought, or pretty much the thing that I'm seeing is that it's going to be a 6-month ban. But my thing about that is, we've had previous stories references. You had the whole thing with Alicia Baumgartner. That was like a big story. And usually in a couple of cases, where people get caught with illegal substance. Sometimes when that happens, you see the story being brought up, and then for about a few weeks, and then things get quiet. Oh yeah, what was it, Conor Ben? Yeah, pretty much like Conor Ben too, right? Things get quiet, and then after a while, a couple weeks becomes a couple months, and a couple months becomes 6, 7, 8 months, and all of a sudden, the person that is in question is in line for a fight. So, suspension or not, it's like, what's the point? Because it's like they're taking a break, just like a lot of these fighters take breaks, whether they've been caught with a substance or not. Like usually these fighters that are high profile or whatever it is, or world champions, they pretty much like have only 2 fights. Pretty much are going with 2 fights a year. So what's the difference of having a fighter that either is a world champion or is a well-known name that has a fight starting off the year, and then has another fight at the tail end of the year, in comparison to a fighter that maybe has this happen and ends up getting a suspension and just comes right back? Really doesn't have much of a difference for some people. Well, he says, as long as common sense is still in my brain, that's all that matters. Honestly, the game is broken, not real boxing enthusiasts. Hey, that's the thing about it, man. Like I was saying, in some cases, when people get caught, they end up getting pretty much like what I say, banished from the sport. But other fighters are, basically just put things on the back burner, just stay quiet, lay low, and just stay that way until things kind of like get out of the limelight. And after a few months, you just start trickling yourself back into relevancy, and then you're able to have a fight. So I mean, here, I guess you could potentially see that happening here, but the thing with Ryan Garcia is, as high profile and as visible as he is, it's gonna be very difficult for him to kind of like lay low. I just don't see how he would be able to lay low, especially after 2 weeks? Like I said, 2 weeks from now, May 22nd, they say it's supposed to be the hearing. So you're gonna have a whole lot of attention in reference to those results once those get released on May 22nd, and then after that, you're gonna have another week of people talking. You're gonna have another 2 weeks of Ryan Garcia talking. So that's gonna be like what? Then that goes through the month of May, right? So that's gonna be 1 month, right? Then you're going to have all this stuff going on, all these boxing events here and there. You're going to be talking about Tank. You're going to be talking about Shakur. You're going to be talking about, the whole thing with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. That's going to be June, July. In August, you're going to have the whole thing with Terrence Crawford. Okay, now we got September. You see what happens in September. And then, look, we're already what? 3 or 4 months in, right? So, yeah, this whole thing with Ryan Garcia is a big story right now. But once you have all of this stuff going on, will it be put on the back pages? We'll see. But as far as like right now, it's the number one, or at least I say it's the number one topic in the sport of boxing. You know, when you have that many impressions, as far as like who it's been able to be, go out to, I would say it's crazy because some people are saying like the sport of boxing ain't been up, so to speak. It ain't been up. But yet we had this whole thing with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney having all of these impressions and have Devin Haney on Sports Center. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. That guy says he'll just deactivate Twitter and spring right back. It's holding a few months. I you know what though? I would be surprised if he deactivated his Twitter account. I'd be surprised if Ryan Garcia deactivated his Twitter account, his social media accounts, or anything like that. That is pretty much his baby, so to speak. Like, if he ain't in the spotlight in social media, then what? Like, what would he do? You know, so I highly doubt that he'll deactivate his Twitter account. Mike Golden in the building, man. Shout out to you. He says Ryan would whoop Devin again, probably worse this time. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. My thing was, hey, look, the way that Ryan was able to basically win the fight at that time, it would. I would say it would. Like I was saying after the fight, like Devin was really, really lacking defensively. Really lacking defensively. You don't have any defense for the left hook, and the right hand was like landing in key time moments as well. But it was more about Ryan having the speed and having the power, basically, there against Devin Haney, and was able to take a number of Devin Haney's punches. Even though Devin Haney was like outboxing him for majority of the first half of the fight, you know, Ryan was still taking those punches. There was nothing really from Devin that affected Ryan to like stun him or anything like that. So the second half of the fight, he just had that, you know, confidence that, hey, whatever he's throwing, I'm going to be able to, you know, go back at him. You know what I'm saying? So he says, Beltless said he never got a championship for him. I guess so, man. But yeah, so yeah, I'm trying to, you know, get the gist of what y'all say is, you know, y'all saying that Ryan is innocent or is he pretty much guilty there, man? So I'm gonna see if I could get this on here. I was trying to invite one of my regular guests on here to see if they'll be able to come on. I'm waiting for them to, you know, jump on here in a bit. But you know, we still have this thing going on right now. For those that are, you know, just coming in here live on YouTube, y'all support by hitting the like button. We're also on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. Y'all get, you know, support by hitting the like button, hitting the share on Twitter, so people could listen in there. But you know, so I said Twitter, not G. I mean, maybe you might have a point with that one, because hey, I wouldn't mind Ryan Garcia deactivated Twitter account, so you will be having all of these Twitter spaces where he be talking crazy. So as long as he's able to, you know, slow all of that down and not have these Twitter spaces where he's like talking crazy and having all of these, you know, wild takes and all this type of stuff, then yeah, maybe I could, you know, go ahead and take that. But yeah, Instagram, yeah, he can keep that Instagram joint. That would be all right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that, you know, that's my thing. Ryan Garcia now, he's pretty much he was like the major story of boxing, for those couple of weeks, after they had that decision win there over Devin Haney. Where folks were in like, hey, maybe he could be the new star of boxing, getting the win at the time that it took place. But now with these tests that were pretty much released there from VADA, that pretty much halts his momentum, So now we got to see what's going on here. We got to see if they come back with a B sample and it's negative or if it's positive. And this is for us. This is not for Nandrolone or whatever it's called, because they said that one was inconclusive. So it really isn't necessarily the thing that stands out. And yeah, Ryan Garcia was, at the time to his horn saying, "Hey, look, you see, I wasn't tested positive for that, but yeah, you were still tested positive for Ostarine." And now he wants to, put on there that, oh, but it's just trace amounts of Ostarine. But the thing about it is, like, any trace of Ostarine is not allowed. Any trace. So don't matter, He said, Martin King says, hey, God said, don't judge, let VADA do his job then. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. VADA's got to do his job. I mean, you got the the New York State Athletic Commission is going to be involved with this as well. Like I said, they're going to have a hearing after, we see what happens with the results that come back on May 22nd. But, the New York State Athletic Commission. You know why I'm saying Nevada? Probably because that particular fight, I kept saying that the fight should have been Las Vegas instead of freaking New York City. But hey, they were still able to get a good amount of people in there for that fight. Ended up being fairly successful. Now, I saw that there were some reports in reference to pay-per-view numbers that were released by a certain person. I can't, necessarily verify that or not, because I had, a couple of weeks ago, I had two sources that reported that there were a lot of people that ended up buying the pay-per-view, but we will see, because now we got some other, report that says it was like around 500,000. Now, if it was, I don't know. That's like a complete 180 from what I was told. Complete 180 from what I was told in reference to the pay-per-view buys. So there was definitely that. But my thing is, you got Ryan Garcia, of course, talking this stuff, man. I want to see if I could share his whole joint, man. I wanted to see what his latest thing is, man. Oh, geez, here we go, man. Here we go. Now, of course, you see that there's yet another deflection as of right now. See what I mean when I say Twitter? Who was it that said, hey, oh yeah, that guy. See what I mean when I said that he needs to just slow down with the whole Twitter joint. Now we see what's going on with what he's saying. Like, let me see if I could go ahead and share this joint, man. This is, you see him going back and forth with Errol Spence right now. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, because Errol Spence said an hour ago in reference to the whole thing with him and Ryan, because that was a potential fight. After Ryan Garcia had the win over Devin Haney, folks were saying, hey, Ryan Garcia versus Errol Spence in Texas. Errol Spence had made this comment, he said he'll beat him off the street if he tested positive, but I don't take two nuts. And Ryan Garcia says, hey, let's run it. Oh, gladly destroy you and finish the job. Crawford almost did, and I will finish the job. Well, I'm like, come on, yo. Come on, man. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? What are we doing, y'all? What are we doing? Like we gotta slow down all this type of stuff, man. We gotta slow all this stuff down, man. Like all this talking back and forth, like, come on, man. Like this is you know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is that Errol Spence is bringing this thing up with Tank, right? Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. Tank had recently made comments in reference to Errol Spence. Who is it with Boxing News or something like that? But yeah, this is what Errol Spence was saying, man. Like, hey, Tank didn't get to finish you because you quit. Like we knew you would do. Go find someone to play with. It's like, oh man, here we go. Here we go. Listen, I understand that, but we can't. If you have this whole thing going on with Ryan Garcia, right? If he ends up in this B sample to still have a positive result and have that suspension 6 months, have that result, basically into a no contest, why would someone like a Errol Spence give Ryan Garcia an opportunity to make big money once again? That would be my question. Like, I understand that you probably want to just beat somebody off, all rip or something like that, but you giving them an opportunity to make another good amount of money for a fight of that magnitude, like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Matt Gomez talking about asked about Jamal. Hey man, yeah, Jamal Charlo. Oh man, yeah, I don't know, man. We had that whole thing with the a supposed hit run, and as of what yesterday, we couldn't really say much there with Coach Ronnie Shields on Warwick Boxing. So, we got to see what's up with Jamal Charlo. But as of right now, man, I'm kind of iffy on how he's, what his status is at this point. That's what I'm saying. They said that guy says over 500K is good, but when collective fighters making 85 million, them gates must be what? Nah, that can't be it. Like that report of Ryan making 50 million and Devin making 35, that wouldn't just be off the gates. That would be gates and pay-per-view. And the overall gate for the Barclays Center, they couldn't really make that high of a purse, given what the threshold or the capacity was for the Barclays Center. So in order for them to make that 50 or 35 million as reported, the pay-per-view numbers would have to been, up there, like really up there. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it is initially when I was getting reports from two sources in reference to the numbers, and this was like about a week after the fight took place, then yeah, maybe they could have made around $50 million or something like that. But you have to see, if that was confirmed, and as of right now, can't necessarily confirm it yet. He said you would watch Errol versus Ryan at 54. I don't know about that. I don't know about all that. No, Errol is, just right back in camp or whatnot. He says he's going to be preparing for a fight. I don't know when it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be September or October or whatever. But Errol's preparing for a fight. Will it be at 154 pounds? I mean, that's been the gist. You've seen them step in the ring there when Sebastian Fundora got the decision win over Tim Tszyu. But with the reports of Fundora having that blood nose, broken nose, and cutting his mouth. They're saying like he would be out of commission until November. So are they going to have this fight in September? I don't know about all that. He said Ryan Garcia should test the bigger hitters and go up against Yordenis Ugas. Man, Yordenis Ugas, got beat by Mario Barrios last September. And I don't know what's going to be up with Yordenis Ugas or Zab Judah Yordenis Ugas, right? It looks like he's been chilling. As far as I know, he's been chilling. So Yordenis, I don't think that would be. I don't think that's a fight that Ryan Garcia would be interested in anyway. Yordenis Ugas, I doubt that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we gotta see what's up with these results. Like I said, coming up in a couple of weeks, and after that, then if he's cleared, then full speed ahead for him. But if he's not, it's gonna be a bad look. It's gonna be a bad look. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he says like Ugas is done. Yeah, man. I mean, look. I mean, you had you had the fight, of course, a couple years ago against Errol Spence, where he got beat up in that particular fight, right? But it was also the thing there with Mario Barrios, where he got knocked down twice, in that particular fight. And, Mario Barrios, of course, he had that win over Fabian Maidana on Saturday. There to defend the interim WBC championship at 147 pounds. But Barrios isn't necessarily known as a big puncher, so to speak, but he does have some thump. He does have some thump behind his punch. As you've seen there against Fabian Maidana, he was able to knock Fabian Maidana down early in that fight. But I think with what happened to Ugas in that Spence fight, I don't think he's fully ready to go up against high profile fighters like that. I just don't. It might be a wrap for him. I mean, you might see him in a fight here or there, but what happened to Ugas versus Thurman? I thought we were supposed to get Ugas versus Thurman, and you see what's happened with Thurman. He got injured, and now you got Yordenis Ugas. We don't even know what's going to be happening with him. So we'll see. Matt Gomez says done. So is Thomas Delorme, and he still got the phone call. Hey, he got a point there. Thomas Delorme fighting Virgil Ortiz Jr. at 154 pounds. Like, come on, man. He says, bless Ugas Day is still winning. Okay, you got a point. You got a good point there. Regardless of what's happening, he's definitely still winning. Yeah, I'll say that. Oh man. Ugas said leave Spence alone on Twitter. What hold on, let me see if he had if he put out a whole paragraph in his tweet, man. I don't know. Because Yordenis, man. He has a whole bunch of them joints where he has a whole paragraph about what he wants to say. Oh no, I didn't really see that or nothing like that. I don't know, man. So yeah, Yordenis Ugas and his long tweets, man. That's pretty much what he's known for. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that back to the whole thing there with Ryan Garcia though. Oh yeah. All right. So there was that, man. So you said Bruno versus Blair Hobbs versus Shields with Patrick Blair. Oh my God. Yeah, I talked with Adrian Broder there for a little bit on Saturday. He says, getting ready for his fight there in June. So we'll see about that, man. Oh yeah, 2 years ago. All right. All right, though. But yeah, you got that whole thing with Adrian Broner and Blair Cobbs is supposed to happen on June 7th. Man, I don't know. Maybe y'all seen the flyers on Twitter, spread around Twitter or something like that. But that was funny. There, whoever had posted it, talking about Broner versus Cobbs if Broner shows up. That's wild. That is wild. Now remember, what was it? It was like almost a year ago to the day. When Adrian Broner was supposed to fight, what was it, Bill Hutchinson, and that fight fell through. Remember, they were supposed to have a press conference, what was it, last year. It was supposed to be before the Tank versus Ryan Garcia fight. Hutchinson showed up and Adrian Broner didn't. And I'm like, yo, it was just a whole mess, man. It was crazy. It was an absolute mess. There, for that whole press conference, had people out there waiting and ended up not happening. That press conference didn't happen. He barely had this fight with Bill Hutchinson happen. Broner did win by a unanimous decision, but I mean, now it's like, we'll see what goes on here with AB though. There's definitely that. But yeah, I'm still kind of like blow reference to this whole thing with Ryan Garcia. You still got this whole thing where the results. We gotta wait to see what happens, man. Oh goodness, Ryan Garcia says he's calling out Errol Spence at 160. Oh man. So here we go. Oh, jeez. Yeah, this whole thing with Ryan Garcia, man, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. Now he's saying, the whole thing with Osterine, like traces of Osterine or whatever it is and whatnot. Like, nah, we'll see how that goes, man. But that's mainly what I had in reference to that, man. Y'all share your thoughts, man. If y'all think Ryan Garcia is guilty or innocent, because whether it's trace amounts or whatever it is, like you still can't have it in your system, and that's pretty much what it is there in reference to that. So it's not the whole thing in reference to. See, folks are talking about either what BADA is saying or what the New York State Athletic Commission is saying. And the thing about it is that if you're competing, especially when it comes to WBC, they're supposed to have that clean boxing program. So if they're affiliated with BADA, you got to go by the rules of BADA. Like the New York State Athletic Commission, that could be completely separate. Or if the WBC is not involved, then maybe you could go by NYSAC. But since this was a sanctioned fight by the World Boxing Council and they're affiliated with VADA and you signed up with VADA, that's what you go by. And that's that. So there you have it. All right, cool. Now, next thing on the docket. We had it on early Monday morning over on the East Coast or the West Coast or whatever it is. Man, I tried so hard to stay up to watch the whole thing with Inoue versus Nery live. I was watching the undercard. I was fading. It was like 3 a.m. I thought the main event would be 3 a.m. Pacific time. Nah, didn't happen. Didn't happen like that, man. I'm like, man, these cards in Japan, they be taking forever. Like, it'd be like 4 hours long, man. Like, come on, you be having 4 fights and it'd be like 4 hours, man. Yo, G Funky in the building. G Funky Boxing in the building. Shout out to you, G Funky Boxing. Y'all support G Funky on YouTube. He has interviews. He has great takes on boxing. He also does some great work over there in the West Coast in California, boxing events out there. So y'all check out G Funky Boxing. Yeah, man, I tried and I couldn't do it, man. I nodded off. I hit the sleep button. I got up in like 3 hours and everything was, pretty much done. But luckily for me, I ain't get no spoilers. I just went straight to, ESPN Plus and just showed the whole fight, to watch the entire fight like it was live. So yeah, I did see Naoya Inoue slip up, be up close there against Luis Nery, get hit with a left hook, and go down to the canvas. And yeah, I was really surprised at that. But yeah, you seen there in the first round, Naoya Inoue did have some mistakes there, some mental mistakes, so to speak. But afterwards, he was able to make those proper adjustments. He had his father there, Shingo Inoue, in the corner, saying, hey, just stay patient. Don't go, too close to Luis Nery. That's his best shot. And you see there over the course of the rest of the fight that Naoya Inoue just didn't allow Luis Nery to kind of like get back at him. He maintained his distance there against Luis Nery, which is, kind of, interesting there because, they kind of like are around the same height there. But, Inoue had like a longer reach. So he was able to utilize his jab there and be able to land the right hand when he needed to. And you've seen his precision, his his speed and all of that, within rounds 2 through rounds 5. And he just showed like he was on a different level there from Luis Nery, right? And when Nery ended up going down the first time, that was pretty much the beginning and end there for Luis Nery. He was just looking for a counter shot, over, like I would say, rounds 4, rounds 5. We'll see. Oh yeah. The main event I'm looking forward to. There, you're gonna have Sergey Lipinets back in the ring there. I want to see how Sergey Lipinets fares in that Pro Box TV main event that's coming up. That'll be on Pro Box TV here in a few minutes. There, so definitely looking forward to that. There, that's supposed to be at 140 pounds. There with Sergey Lipinets. But yeah, back to the whole thing there with Naoya Inoue. He just ended up dominating after that first round. And of course, he had that little moment. If you were watching live on ESPN Plus, or like I was watching on the replay, yeah, Joe Tessitore saying like, it was pretty much gonna like this fight gonna end, any second now, and he, pretty much like asked Tim Bradley, we see as a potential finisher, Tim, and what does Naoya Inoue do? Ends up landing a right hand that sends Luis Nery down to the canvas basically for good and puts him out. So Naoya Inoue is able to defend those super bantamweight titles. He's undisputed super bantamweight champion still. And he's still up there as one of the top fighters pound for pound in the sport. He's been a very impressive fighter, over the course of his professional career. Like I said, 2 division undisputed champion, 4 division champion overall. And he's just, going on a tear. He's just gone on the tear. What has it been? Ever since his unanimous decision win over Nonito Donaire in 2019, he has stopped every single fighter since then. And he's going to, I think he's going to have 1 or 2 more fights here, 122 before he goes up to 126. I think they're going to still try to have him fight Casemiro before he goes up to 126. Yeah, like you said, Nery knocked him down, and he did 0 for the rest of the round. Yeah, because I think from a tactical perspective, it was more about Naoya Inoue having it to the point where he was close enough for Nery to connect that, left hand on him. And that's basically what it was. I mean, you got, Nery there as a southpaw, and his strong hand. That's his strong hand, of course. And if you're going to give him the proper, range to land that left hand, he's going to get it on you. I mean, he had, 27 wins by knockout in his 35 wins. So, yeah, he does have a little bit, he is packing a little bit behind his punch. So if you give him that opportunity, he's going to take advantage of it. And that's pretty much what he did there in the first round. But, yeah, when Naoya Inoue did go down to the canvas, that just, shocked a lot of people, But as I said, made the proper adjustments, ended up dominating Nery. So back in there, and he's back in the mix. Like I said, undefeated, undisputed champion, super bantamweight. And he'll have a couple more, like I said, a couple more fights out there at 122 pounds before he moves up to 126. And with that being said, he's there at 31 years old right now. I'm giving him a couple more years, and probably, like I say, five or six more fights, and that might be it for him. We'll see, because the whole little thing about talking about him potentially fighting Tank Davis, that ain't happening. No, that's not going to happen. I don't see Naoya Inoue going above 126, and I don't see Tank Davis going below 135. So while that might seem like a blockbuster fight, I don't see it happening. Don't see it happening. You're just gonna, enjoy, both of these fighters, doing their thing in their respective divisions, and they'll make their mark in the sport, there. But as far as like them potentially fighting each other, yeah, I don't see that happening. In reference to the whole thing with Naoya Inoue, though, I seen some things in reference to Inoue maybe being involved with a fight card under Turkey LLC. Man. Like, I think Inoue at this point, being in Japan, his star level or star power in Japan, he could get pretty much like any amount he wants, so to speak, there in Japan. So I don't see like what would be the benefit of Naoya Inoue being involved in a fight card there, is led by Turkey LLC. I know we had that great card that's coming up on August 3rd, involving like the Terrence Crawford and the Isak Cruz and Jarrell Miller versus Andy Ruiz, and all those other fights, that Virgil Ortiz versus Tim Tszyu. I mean, that looks great. But when you're talking about like mega stars in their respective countries or whatever it is, like Tank Davis or Naoya Inoue, you're gonna need a little bit more than that to lure them. You know what I'm saying? So as far as like him potentially being part of a fight card in December, I just don't see that. I don't see that. You know what I mean? Don't see it. So that was my quick take on that there for Naoya Inoue. Just had like a couple more things here that I want to drop on this midweek report. One, of course, you have upcoming the vacant IBF title there at 135 pounds. You have Lomachenko going up against Loma-Kambosos. For this, I feel like this pretty much may be Lomachenko's last stand here at 135 pounds. His last, I said this is his last opportunity to become a world champion at 135 pounds against George Kambosos Jr., former unified world champion. Okay, let me say it again. Former unified world champion, not undisputed. No, no, we're not counting that as undisputed. No. So here for Lomachenko. He had a very, very valiant effort there against Devin Haney. Ended up losing by unanimous decision there last year. Now he's going up against George Kambosos. Of course, Kambosos has a different type of a style against like, or in comparison to a Devin Haney. But it just depends on at what point of Lomachenko's career is he at this point. He's, of course, there at 36 years old. Yes, he only has 20 professional fights, but he's had like a gazillion amateur fights before that. And, for me, I've always said this, from the get-go, that the absolute limit that Lomachenko had as a pro was at 130. At 135, he's able to do a few things here and there, but sometimes if you're able to go up against guys that have a little bit of, little bit behind their punch, or has some type of athleticism, then he's going to have issues. But you look at a lot of the fighters that he's gone up against, either they're not that all too athletic, or they really don't have that much pop behind their punch. So if you look at a lot of those fighters that he's faced, yeah, you kind of like see that. The Teofimo Lopez fight, you seen that Teofimo had speed, had the power, and pretty much could, push around Lomachenko. So he had issues with that. You kind of seen the whole thing with the athleticism part with Jermaine Ortiz, but Jermaine Ortiz just couldn't keep that up for 12 rounds. Devin Haney was able to keep that up for 12 rounds up to a certain point. In the 10th and 11th round, he had issues, but in the 12th round, that kind of like was the key right there for Devin Haney, for him to get that win over Lomachenko. George Kambosos, you wouldn't necessarily say he's that type of athletic fighter, but he's a guy that always is in your face or is able to make things rough for you. So it'll be interesting to see how Lomachenko deals with that. Particularly if he still has those, the foot movement that he's usually known for. He's known for his timing, and he's known for shifting around, being able to, turn or pretty much have his opponent turn before, anything can happen. So that's the thing I'm kind of like looking for. Yesterday, was on the thing there, War Week Boxing. He said, maybe, just maybe, this might be the moment where Lomachenko shows his age. But we'll see. Matt Gomez says, what is it? Vasily peaked too late by saying an amateur too long. Yeah, I mean, hey, you go on there and you're there for what, 8, 10 plus years as an amateur? Like, come on. You're at 36 years old and you're fighting. You had an amateur career up to like 2013. Like, come on, that's like almost 10 years as an amateur fighter, basically. Like, it's like, that kind of like shortens your whole professional career right off rip. So that's the thing. So now here he is at a key point of his pro career, because we seen what happened with him, after they had the decision with Devin Haney over Lomachenko. You seen him in the dressing room there. So this is going to be something, because some people saying that if he's able to win this fight and become a world champion again, that he could face either Shakur Stevenson, or if Navarrete defeats Dennis Marincek for the WBO lightweight title, you probably face Navarrete and have an opportunity to become unified champion again at lightweight. So this is a real key bout for him, because they've been giving Lomachenko a whole lot of chances there, and they say that Lomachenko has, been viewed as a pound for pound great for, I don't know, up teen amount of years, even though he had like 2 or 3 losses very early in his career. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, if he ends up getting this loss to George Kambosos, that's gonna really hurt him. But now we're gonna catch up on a few things. We got a great guest that's coming up here joining us. Of course, the host. He is the host of Brunch Boxing on Twitter. That's Mr. MVO. What's going on?
Hey, what's good, JR? Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can.
Okay, because apparently my browser is outdated. I couldn't use StreamYard on the browser, so I had to download a whole fucking app just to get on this program today. I was having trouble connecting.
And listen, StreamYard be StreamYarding sometimes. I just say that.
Yeah, man. That's why my name today is my Cash App. Y'all hit my damn Cash App so we could get a better browser and a better phone. Hit that Cash App.
Cash App is that your face. Okay.
Now, what have you covered so far? So I know you've already been on for about an hour.
Yes, I've been on for an hour. I did talk about the whole thing with Ryan Garcia. We got 2 weeks. Everybody is going to be waiting on May 22nd for these B sample results to come back. We see Ryan Garcia tripping on Twitter already. Not just with the test results, but also talking with Mr. Errol Spence Jr.
Yeah.
So there's also that.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think we should wait till May 22nd because the test results are not going to matter.
Yeah, in a sense, I said because it's like, okay, if it comes out positive, then you just give them a 6-month suspension. And what's 6 months?
Well, even if it comes out positive, they're not going to have any grounds to suspend them. Because from what I've been hearing, as you know, the New York State Athletic Commissioner stepped down today. But from what I heard, she didn't step down. She was forced to resign. And one of the reasons she was forced to resign is that the commission did not follow protocol in the Ryan Garcia scenario. From what I was told, the commission did not do their own drug test the night of the fight, which they're supposed to. They just relied on the VADA test. They're not supposed to do that. VADA is a third party that is contracted to the fighters. The State Athletic Commission is supposed to conduct their own not random, but after the fight drug test, and they did not do such. So when I first heard about this Ryan Garcia thing, the thing I was asking was, well, let's see what the commission test says. Well, it turns out there was no commission test because they didn't follow protocol. So they made it where Ryan Garcia is going to have to skate because they fucked up the process. So they have no grounds to suspend him at all. He's going to fight this tooth and nail, and he's going to make the commission look really, really bad if they try to pursue this. So I think they're just going to not pursue this. They're going to sweep it under the rug and just say, well, this was a VADA test. This wasn't a State Athletic Commission test. So they don't have any grounds to suspend them. I think that's what they're going to do.
Okay, so you do, and I kind of like had this at the end of my initial discussion, was you had those two separate entities. You had the Nevada, I keep saying Nevada, New York State Athletic Commission, and you have VADA, who is affiliated with the WBC, right? So VADA could have their own tests. But as you said, the New York State Athletic Commission is supposed to have their tests as well. And if they didn't conduct their tests and they didn't follow protocol in their instance, then they can't necessarily make a ruling in reference to
exactly. It's like me getting arrested and I didn't get read my Miranda rights and I wasn't allowed to speak to a lawyer. Like, the judge is going to throw that out. they have no basis of suspending Ryan Garcia because he could appeal it, he can sue, and does New York really want to waste the valuable resources that they have on Ryan Garcia? I don't think so. So I think this is just going to go away.
And I kind of like said that it could have gone away regardless of what the result would be. Either way, because we've kind of like seen it in multiple occasions, and I said most recently, Conovan and Alicia Baumgartner, where they get caught, and then you see the story for about a couple weeks, they go for another couple weeks, and then all of a sudden, they just start appearing, and people just, I guess, sweep what they did under the rug.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty funny that you bring up Baumgartner because Eddie Hearn was promoting Baumgartner at the time, and he also sometimes promotes Devin Haney, and he promoted him in this fight. It's interesting to me that he's talking about he wants to get the decision with Ryan Garcia overturned, but he's not doing that with Christina Leonardo when she had to fight his dirty fighter. So it's all politics. So people should just look at it as that. The only thing that we know for sure is that New York State did not follow protocol. And by that admission, I don't think Ryan Garcia should be suspended. I really don't. I think he's dirty, but I also don't think he should be suspended because they didn't follow the protocol. It's like the Ryan Braun situation in MLB. I don't know if you remember Ryan Braun. He got suspended because he tested positive for PEDs, but it turns out Drug-Free Sport, who was handling the case, they didn't follow their protocol, so his suspension was overturned. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So that's going to end up, that could likely end up happening here, and it would just make for still a whole muddy situation because now they would kind of say, hey, since we're not, we weren't completely involved or we didn't follow protocol, we can't necessarily return the result. So it would still end up being a win on Ryan Garcia's record.
Yep.
And a loss on Devin Haney's record.
Oh, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Talk to the commission. I guarantee you that would have not happened in Nevada.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen in Nevada. But on the flip side, though, it's crazy that the New York State Athletic Commission slipped up like that, given the history of what has been happening in New York, especially when it comes to quote-unquote safety of fighters. So if you're gonna have what happened in the past, and then you slip up and let this go, then hey, it's definitely a bad look on your part. And I guess that's why, as you said, the supposed president or whatever it was of the commission.
But another thing with that I kind of wanted to get into, VADA, VADA, they need to stop leaking information about people's tests before we get to the results management process, because that causes all the confusion and the furor. And that is why I say, is that the real Bill Haney, or is that someone just the name Bill Haney? Is that the actual Bill Haney?
Listen, if that's the actual Bill Haney, then that Bill Haney will have to message me on Twitter or X through the box.
Yeah, bring his ass up here. If that's the real Bill Haney, bring his ass up here. If
not, if you're the real Bill Haney, you have to message me on Twitter and say that you want to go ahead and speak. But
yeah, if that's not the real Bill Haney, please go touch some grass. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Hey,
what are we doing here?
Say this. I've seen Bill Haney on other channels before, or at least this one. So I'll just put it like that.
But back to what I was saying about VADA, they can't be having these tests leaked. And to me, that is the big issue with having Victor Conti closely associated. because everything always leaks. Everything leaks, and I feel for well, I will say I can't say I feel for Devin. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say I feel for Devin for the simple fact that I don't think they should have had the fight once he blew weight, but they looked at Ryan as an easy lick, so they got greedy and they paid the price for it. So it is what it is. It was a risk. It was a calculated risk on their part, and it didn't turn out the way that they wanted it to turn out. But they should have insisted on protocol. They should have insisted on protocol. Did Devin Haney provide a piss sample to New York State fight night? That's what I want to know. I want to know, like, where was the breakdown in this process that we got into this situation? Makes no sense at all.
Yeah, it doesn't. Now you said the whole thing in reference to they're going forward with the thing there with Ryan Garcia being overweight. I mean, he, they basically said the thing there at the press conference. Hey, we have a bet or a side bet saying that, hey, if you ain't gonna make weight, you have to pay $500K for each pound you're overweight. So it looked like one way or another they knew that Ryan Garcia was going to be overweight for the fight. So if they had an idea that he was going to be overweight, then they were going to go forward with the fight.
Yeah,
and
well, they should have known Ryan Garcia was going to be overweight, because I reported that Tuesday morning of fight week that this guy was going to be overweight. He was going to be overweight. Like, I heard from someone that was in the camp that they had to force this guy to work out and spar. Like, he would be missing for hours when he was supposed to be sparring, to the point where, like, his sparring partners went home. And this dude was drinking, like, almost on a daily basis during training camp. He was never going to make weight. He was never going to try to make weight.
He was never going to try to make weight.
Yeah. The funny thing is, well, maybe not funny, they looked at him as an easy lick, but he kind of looked at them as an easy lick, because he figured no matter what I do, they're going to go through with the fight anyway. That's basically what he figured.
Once again, Bill Haney, if I said it before,
no, put the link. Put the link.
No.
Listen, it might really be Bill Haney. Put the link. You
never know. It's not. No, if this really Bill Haney, I'm just saying this
listen. JR. If it's not Bill Haney, you could just remove him.
No.
Oh, come on.
No.
Come on, man. That could really be Bill Haney.
Listen, Bill Haney is on Twitter. Bill Haney is
Bill Haney
on
77.
Instagram. Like the Bill Haney 77, all of that is on Twitter, is on Instagram. If you
how we know this is not Bill Haney?
Because I've seen this particular account before. I'll just say that. So if you want to prove that you're Bill Haney, you got Twitter, Boxing Source on Twitter, Boxing Source on Instagram.
Come on, listen,
go ahead and you message me.
You have the opportunity to create a great show moment right here, JR.
No.
Hold on, he's not even the one talking. I'm the one that's talking. Why he mad at you? I don't get it.
Yeah, I know you're talking, but
why is he mad at you?
I have no idea.
How about this? I'm gonna send the link to Bill Haney right now. Well, I can't even DM him. Hold on, let me see. I think you should put the link. Wait, the link is in the flasher, isn't it?
Nah, it's not in the flasher. No.
Just put the link. I guarantee you that's him.
Oh,
put the
all
link.
right, all right. So here we go. Right, like listen.
Yeah, put that link.
Here
go the link.
Here it is, right here, and here's how you go. Here's how you can do it. Right.
Now we're gonna see if
Go
that's
on that
Bill
link.
Haney or if that's his brother Bob Haney.
But that's the link. I'm telling you right now. You're the only one that's you got to be able to jump on here. One,
yeah,
and then two, you got to be on camera before I even.
We know Bill Haney's voice. We know Bill Haney's voice.
Yeah, but Bill Haney, like we ain't gonna have another. We ain't gonna have a moment though. But see, I
don't get what Bill is upset about. What I said is anything that I said not true. That's why I don't understand.
Yeah,
is anything that I said not true.
But as we wait for, I guess, Bill to jump on,
Bob Haney,
we got another person to come on here to join our conversation. What up? What's happening? Box Academic, what's good?
Oh, I was on mute this whole time. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Mike, how you doing? You know what? I got to tell you, I appreciate your insight on the post show that you joined us on for Saturday. You gave us great insight. It's up on Spotify if you want to check it out. You did a great job. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Letting me get on because I know it's a long line, and I appreciate you letting me skip the line. Only thing I got to do is know you a little bit and talk shit about you, and I'm your friend, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, God damn, you ain't gonna agree to that? Dang. Yeah. I was kind of want to see, was it Bill Haney too? That's why I clicked in, because I was telling JR, I was gonna tell him to put the link
there.
I'm like,
tell him the link is right there.
Like the link is right on. Oh my God, yo, come on.
See, the real Bill Haney would know how to use the link.
All right, you know what? I'm telling you.
Post it in the chat.
Post it in the chat. Post it in the comments somewhere, JR.
What you said, MBO? He about to beat you up.
No, first of all, Bill Haney and Devin Haney are not going to beat me up. I'll tell you that right now.
Listen.
Second of all, I don't know what he upset about, and he won't tell us what he upset about. So I'm starting to wonder if. There you go. I see the link right below you. I see it right below your comment.
Nah, he knows. Listen,
Bob Haney.
I've seen Bill on multiple lives, on multiple Twitter spaces, and all that type of stuff. So,
because I didn't know what he upset about. That's what I need to know.
Yeah, sound like a troll.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
See. I refuse to believe that someone is such a loser that they would impersonate Bill Haney. I refuse to believe that.
That's pretty whack. But no, I don't. It's the internet streets. It's the internet. Somebody definitely would impersonate him.
I would hope not. So click the link.
Yeah.
Also, Mr. Haney, I'm not your nigga. I'm nobody's nigga. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to let you know that.
Yep. And just so you know, like this thing is not just on YouTube, it is on Twitter. So like I said,
exactly.
If this is, like I said, Bill, you're welcome to come up here.
Yeah.
But if you ain't clicking that link and you ain't
not clicking that. It's a troll. All right. I'm about to just boot him out the chat because now he's just a troll. He wasted a precious showtime. Precious showtime. He wasted.
I tried to tell you. All right.
Let's get back to boxing. This guy's a clown.
Yeah, because guess what? Yeah, you just you just on there talking. All right. So yeah.
Because it's free.
So back in the joint is what you were saying about the Nevada, slipping up too. Because why would you have that stuff leaking out? You know what I mean? That's the crazy part.
It's been a regular occurrence. It's been a regular occurrence, and that should not be, especially since VADA does not handle results management. You know, I just don't think that should be.
So I don't know who's running this whole stuff with VADA, but that stuff gonna have to be cleaned up. On their end, definitely gonna have to be cleared up on their end, man. Because that ain't it. Oh, see, come on, man. You know what? We don't necessarily need Dev to be on here yet. Listen, Bill, come on, man. Come on, man.
And
don't
listen,
do that.
Nobody even want to hear from Dev anyway. Who gives a shit?
I want to hear from him. Let if that's him, let him.
What do you want to
hear?
He's gonna say Ryan Garcia cheated. I want my record changed. Blah blah blah. That's what he's gonna say. What do you want to hear? Does he have anything that's gonna contribute to the conversation, to the process?
I believe so. I believe so.
And Devin just happened to leave the room when the link dropped. Of course. Listen, these guys are jokes.
Yeah, it's a troll, but
it's a troll.
If it just so happened to be, even though it's a troll.
No, it's a loser impersonating Bill Haney. Touch grass, my G. What's wrong with you? You're a loser. You're a loser. You're
Is
whack.
that like up north slang for kick rocks?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, touch grass is like go outside, get a life.
Gotcha. Kick rocks. That's a better one. I understand
you
that.
Whack, you twisted. Your girl's a hoe. You broke the kid ain't yours, and everybody knows. Come on, man.
Your old man says you're stupid. You be like, so
exactly.
Let her go. Come on, man.
But
why are we wasting our breath on this guy? Let's move the conversation along.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so let's do that, man. Let's do that now. How about this, man? We just did that. So if you ain't about that life, hey, that's it. I just handled it. How about that? All right, back to the boxing, man. Said the whole thing about Ryan Garcia. Haven't had your thoughts on the test there about academic. So what do you got to say on it?
So as far as I know, because to me, all of the drama stuff is not entertaining to me. Like following behind the drama behind boxing, it's fun for a little bit, but then that shit draining. That's like what females do. They follow behind all this drama and stuff. I like females, so no offense to females. I'm saying that's a feminine trait. Let me put it like that.
Okay.
But yes, so as far as I know, someone correct me, but so he got a test back from VADA. The A sample was positive for a number of substances. They are testing the B sample a month from now, or however many days from now, and then a couple weeks, and then what MVO said, the New York Commission didn't do their separate tests, so there's a way for him to skirt out of it. But right now it's up in the air to where he can be like, nah, this ain't what it is. This test ain't what it is, and then we're waiting for the B sample to essentially confirm that that's what it is, right? That's where we at, right?
So the main thing is the main thing that like MVO kind of like brought up is that the New York State Athletic Commission didn't follow their own protocol in reference to testing the fighters before the fight took place. And because of that, regardless of what happens with VADA, like they still cannot impose any punishment on Ryan Garcia because they didn't do their own testing, or they didn't go through their own testing protocol for the fight.
Meaning like they couldn't change the fight to no contest. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. So
now that would be some bullshit. That would be some bullshit if I'm sorry, I'll let you finish.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, in a sense, it can be, but technicalities kind of like have them, skirt through. I mean, but it almost is the same like type of thing where another fighter that could have tested positive, and MVO brought this up. Like you had the whole thing with Lisa Baumgartner against Christina Lindartu, where she went through the fight, got the result, had the win on the record, was still caught with an illegal substance, but they never overturned the result. So you can have the same instance here.
Gotcha.
Because as of right now, you don't see anything that says that Lisa Baumgartner has a no contest on the record there for her bout against Christina Lindartu. So you could see the same instance here with Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks for both people if two samples come back and they essentially say that said person is not clean. I mean, it sucks for the other person, but like you said, a technicality is a technicality. But I can't really speak on the drama part of all of this. But I mean, I guess when the sample comes back in the court of public opinion, people will have what they have to say. And for me, if the second sample is not clean, then I mean, you get to, in a sense, put an asterisk on his win. You get to say, yeah, you kicked his butt, but what if you weren't this or weren't that? Would he have taken the punches better? What if blah blah blah? It's always always a what if.
You would still have those questions. Yeah, you would always have those questions in reference to it. So that would still hang on Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, like at least for right now, he's kind of like going at it like, hey, I'm innocent, I'm completely innocent, I'm moving forward, I got the win or whatever it is, and that's that. That guy here on YouTube, he says, does this point rematch? Like initially, when this whole stuff came out, Devin Haney said he wouldn't be interested in a rematch. But I mean, I said for Devin Haney, this is the most lucrative fight that you could have at this point. It's a rematch with Ryan Garcia, and it's not even close. So I say, why not go for the rematch? You know what I'm saying? I say, why not? Shout out to Matt Gomez, man. Thanks for being a supporter here of the Boxing Source. So I'll be able to see you on here next time, man. But yeah, a rematch for Devin Haney. One, you be able to get a whole lot of money in a rematch, and two, you get to basically avenge what happened. You know what I'm saying? That's like.
But didn't I see reports say that he said he don't want a rematch?
He did say that he didn't want a rematch. Which
do you blame him?
I guess in a sense, because they're saying like, okay, I'm Devin Haney. I'm a guy that became was undefeated. Became 2-division world champion, basically. Was undisputed at 135, won this title at 140. Never really had any issues against, or that many issues against other fighters. Then this basically happens. And it's like, okay, yeah. But I don't know what it is, because like we looked through the fight, like we've gone over the fight. It was more about him tactically being lackluster in this fight. It wasn't something to where, okay, the additional weight was a factor, or like if you had this whole thing with the test, that was a factor. To me, strategically, he was like doing stuff completely wrong in this fight. Like you could have had it. Like in the first half of the fight, he looked like he was doing great. Like it would have been almost like a wash for Dev. And then he just had lapses on defense that allowed Ryan Garcia to do what he did. So it's like tactically he was still not doing the things he was supposed to do. So if he does have a rematch, he would have to, he would have to be able to strategically make adjustments to, do much better than he did, the first time around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was definitely. I mean, there were a lot of things that he was doing that didn't bode in his favor, and obviously the wait for Ryan Garcia didn't help him, and Ryan Garcia being able to just essentially walk through his punches didn't help him. But yeah, he like not blocking, and even just sort of the way that he was sort of blocking and not really. I don't know. I got to watch it again, but like even him, I mean, I guess Ryan Garcia had the longer distance, but him like trying to fight from range, attack, then get back out. I guess Ryan Garcia knew him so well to where he just kind of like timed him, and the fact that he didn't have his backhand up obviously would never help you. So I mean, there are things that he can improve, but at this point, does he improve them without something different? Or I mean, he's a world-class fighter, so he should be able to go back to the drawing board and see that, put a tennis ball on his fucking chin, and make sure when he punches to keep the damn hand up, and not do what the little bow and arrow shit when he punched, to where when he move out that Ryan can counter. Would going to the body have helped him a bit more? Going more to the body, would that have helped? Probably. But then he's more susceptible to that hook again.
To the hook, yeah. I mean, that's the thing about it. Like he would be able to get time by Ryan with the counter left hook, So he still just had that thing there where, like I said, that right hand was so low, it wasn't up there's up there to properly guard, or like you said, with the overall defense, not even like head movement, like you didn't even see him, like kind of like roll with a lot of those punches. So it was kind of crazy. That guy says Ryan looked the same, but a better engine. Devin looked drained as hell, and he rehydrated the like Fat Albert. Now, if he did that's not a good look, because you don't want to strain yourself to get down to a 140 to where your energy is low, and then you try to rehydrate and rush to get that weight back, because you still wouldn't necessarily have the energy. You would just seem bloated instead of like properly rehydrating and having the strength that you would need. You know what I'm saying? So if Dev went at it like that, then yeah, that's not a good strategy, and that's not a good look. But I still say, like, from the fight itself, technically, he just didn't have a plan B when he was in trouble there in the 7th round. Like, he really didn't have plan B. You know what I'm saying? Oh, snap.
Because without the knockdown.
Oh, man. Hey, yo. Now, I know, like, hey, I need to hear from this guy. I haven't heard from this guy in a while, yo. I haven't heard from this guy in a while. You should be able to jump on here, man. Shout out, right? Of course, one of the guys that has been a part of the Boxing Source podcast for years and years, man. Wanted to see if he's able to chime in on some things, man. If he's able to jump on, I have to check to see if I could get the link out to him or something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna try that, man. If you're able to jump on here for a little bit, I got something out there for you. So I'm gonna see if I could get it out there. Yeah, yo, what you was gonna chime in on Boxing Academic?
I forgot. I think I forgot what I was saying. It's not important. I would rather hear from World Rank too.
Yeah, man. Let's see if he could.
Ex World Rank, he's been dodging me. It's been like 2 years. Has he been dodging me or something? What's up?
It's been a good little minute, man.
He gonna tell us he had like 3 children or something.
He said he's busy, man. Oh man. Yeah, but this whole thing with yeah, Ryan is just a complete. Well, I wouldn't say a clusterfuck or whatever it is, but it's just very messy though. I will say that it's really messy. So what we see or what's going to come through here after a couple of weeks is going to kind of like clear a couple of things up. But like MVO said, with the New York State Athletic Commission kind of like not really completely following protocol and them dropping the ball here, it's going to make it to where Ryan Garcia is going to push like he is completely innocent. When you still could have those results coming from VADA saying that, yeah, you still had the presence of ostarine in your system. But since the New York State Athletic Commission didn't follow through on it and follow through protocol they were supposed to do before the fight, guess what? It's like saying you're guilty, but you're innocent, or like you say, you don't necessarily get punished for being guilty, and that's gonna mess things up there from this point forward. So that's kind of like how I view it. You know what I'm saying? There's that. With that being said, man, what is it about 9:08 p.m. Eastern time? Got like I said, this will be Pro Box on right now. I gotta check to see if the main event is going on right now. But you have that coming up. There's gonna be a press conference on Friday for Boots versus Crowley in Philadelphia, and on Monday the New York press conference for Jake Paul and Mike Tyson will take place. I'm scheduled to go to the New York press conference. I'll see if I'll be in Philly for the Boots press conference on Friday. But Monday, yeah, I'm about there for that Paul versus Tyson joint. That's definitely going to be a crazy little event, to say the least. But that's what we got. So y'all keep up here on the Boxing Source YouTube channel. Also, follow the social media pages. Of course, they're listed on here through Twitter, through Instagram. We also have a Facebook page, so you get go on the Facebook page if you're on Facebook. We appreciate all the support here on the Boxing Source. Big ups for Boxing Academic for joining in here live. Big ups for MVO of Brunch Boxing joining on here live. And like I said, man, Bill Haney ain't about that life. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, we'll get on to the action that is currently on for Pro Box TV, and I guess I will check y'all out for the Boxing Source podcast on Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, y'all. So y'all can check us out live then. Until then, I'm out. Peace.